irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
The West Deptford Middle School Choir performing the national anthem here in Philadelphia tonight. The national anthem sponsored by American Sail. Bring the fun home. Cubs, Phillies getting set for game 2 of their 3-game set. Who Are You Banking On is sponsored by Busey Bank. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. I'm banking on Nico Horner. No one's been hotter on the Cubs lately. He's hitting better than 400 over the last week. The pitching matchup is sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Justin Steele going for the Cubs. The veteran left-hander is 5-5 with a 3.03 ERA. Came off the injured list last Wednesday against Oakland and looked a little rusty in his return from an elbow issue. 2 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout through 57 pitches. Meantime, Tanner Banks going for Philadelphia, left-hander. He's the opener in a bullpen game for the Phillies. Banks 2-2 with a 3.78 ERA in 60 games this season with 1 start. Around baseball, sponsored by Great Clips. For your next haircut, go to Great Clips. It's going to be great. One final on the board. The Tigers, a 2-1 winner over the Rays as Tarek Skubal wins his 18th game of the year. Now, what does this victory mean for the Tigers? Well, they are just a half game back in actually solidify their wild card chances. They are number 2 in the wild card race at this very moment, a half game ahead of Kansas City in the American League wild card chase. Here in Philadelphia, it's time for baseball. Cubs, Phillies, Pat, Ron, next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Chicago Cubs memories are made right here with Pat, Ron, and Zach on the Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, save big on top brands during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, save $40 on select 5-gallon Valspar paint, like Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense, or Valspar Stain. Plus, save $20 on 5-gallon pails of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams All-Purpose Power Primer. Shop these limited-time deals and more in-store or online. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 10/27. See store at Lowe's.com for details.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppables in-wash scent beads.
Smartwool makes merino wool socks and apparel designed to keep you comfortable because they want to help you play, explore, and thrive outside with every thread they knit and every step you take. And the right comfort can keep you outside, so you can do all the things you live for longer. Smartwool. Go far, feel good.
Por decenas de generaciones esta ha sido la tierra de la libertad y el hogar del valiente. Somos un faro de luz en un mundo oscuro donde la esperanza se conecta con la fe. Somos una tierra de inmigrantes forjada por soñadores y aventureros que se atrevieron a enfrentarse al miedo de lo desconocido. Magnum Insurance honra el espíritu de lucha que destaca nuestra herencia y nos impulsa a construir una vida mejor. MagnumInsurance.com, orgullosamente protegiendo su presente, asegurando su futuro. Seguro que sí.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is presented by Health Markets. Shop for health insurance your way.
And now, Odyssey and 670 The Score bring you Chicago Cubs baseball on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Get out the tape measure, long gone. Back in the stands. That ball is gone. A game-winning home run. Can you believe it? This is what you came in for. You got the Cubs game on the score.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented to you in part by Benjamin Moore, Vinny's Beverage Depot, Hefty Trash Bags, Sigler Subaru of Kenosha, Bosch Power Tools, James Hardy Building Products, Sloan, Stella Blue Coffee, Traffic Tech, Wintrust Community Banks, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, Granger, official partner of the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field, Arturo Tires, and by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly. And now, here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer, with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air from Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. It's game 2 of this 3-game series between the Chicago Cubs and the Philadelphia Phillies. Good evening, everybody. Along with former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer, it's Pat Hughes reporting. The Phillies with an exciting night for them last night, clinching the National League Eastern Division title as they beat the Cubs in the opener of the series by a score of 6-2. Tonight, Cubs will try to get even. The starting pitchers, Tanner Banks, will go for the Phillies. Left-hander Justin Steele will be on the mound for the Cubs. It's cloudy and cool, but it's dry, no rain in the immediate forecast, 68 degrees as this ball game is about ready to get underway. Game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Your trusted local experts, Four Seasons. Let's go ahead and get right to the starting lineups for tonight's game between the Cubs and the Phillies. Starting lineups are brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Leading off for the Cubs tonight in left field is Ian Happ. Dansby Swanson at shortstop. Batting third, the designated hitter, Seiya Suzuki. Cody Bellinger batting cleanup and playing in right field. Batting fifth and playing third base, Isaac Paredes. Michael Busch at first base. Nico Horner batting seventh and playing second base. The center fielder is the rookie Pete Crow Armstrong, and Miguel Amaya batting ninth and doing the Cubs catching. For the Phillies, former Cub Kyle Schwarber will lead off as the designated hitter. Trey Turner at short. Bryce Harper batting third and playing first base. Alec Boehm at third base. Nick Castellanos, another former Cub, in right field. Castellanos is batting fifth. Austin Hayes in left. The second baseman for the Phils tonight is Edmundo Sosa. Sosa batting seventh. Garrett Stubbs catching and playing center field in the number 9 position, Johan Rojas. So there you have the lineups. The umpires are meeting at the home plate area right now, having a brief discussion of the ground rules and an exchange of lineup cards. The umpires tonight, Alex Tosi behind the plate. Dan Bellino, the crew chief. Haven't seen much of Dan this season. Chicago area native. Excellent umpire. Dan Bellino is also the crew chief of this quartet, and he's working at first. Phil Cuzzy, the second base umpire, and Tony Randazzo is over at third. The announcement of the umpire sponsored by Suits 2020 and Niles, the largest selection of wedding outfits for grooms and groomsmen. We are ready to go, the Cubs and the Phillies. This rivalry dates back all the way back to 1883. It's one of the oldest in professional sports. They'll play again in just a moment, right after this on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs Monday through Friday with Mully and Haw. Mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With Eckrich, the official smoked sausage and deli meat of the college football playoff, it's super easy to score big flavor, even when you have no time between the laundry, your laundry list of responsibilities, and kickoff. You're still ready to go with perfectly seasoned smoked sausage you heat up and eat up. Whether it's Grandpa's famous chili dogs or your famous almost forgot the potluck deli sliders, Eckrich makes every game day taste and feel like a win. For extra delicious game days, just add Eckrich.
Dugout here at Cubs occupy the third base dugout here at Citizens Bank Park. Cubs wearing their traveling uniforms. Blue shirts and gray trousers, red numbers on their backs, blue hats and helmets, blue socks, and a variety of shoes. Phillies in their home whites, white shirts and trousers. The rest is red. Red hats. They'll wear helmets while batting. Sleeves and socks and numbers are all red. And some guys have white shoes, some have red. Uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Transform your clubhouse into a Cubs house with Cubbies blue, Wrigley Field green, or marquee red. Here comes the first pitch to Ian Happ, and it's in there for a strike, and away we go. Benjamin Moore, the official paint of the Chicago Cubs. Tanner Banks, the left-hander, expected to work a few innings only in this game tonight. He's 2-2 with a 3.78 ERA. Curveball hit in the air to left, shallow and playable for Hayes. Backing up a little now, makes the catch. Ron, as you think about the Cubs facing Tanner Banks, what's on your mind?
Well, it's a bullpen game for Philly after they clinched last night, their division. You kind of expect that. For Banks, he's not thrown more than 2 innings this year in any ball game. So, you're expecting, an inning or 2 and then flip over to someone else. Good fastball, 94, 95. Slider is the next best pitch. He'll throw both of those. Probably 1 and 1A for the 2 pitches he throws.
Dansby Swanson takes a strike, Ron.
So, you just get as a Cubs hitter tonight, you just expect that, about every at-bat, you're going to see someone different.
Swanson waits. Dansby hits a soft one-hop liner to second base. Sosa will throw him out. That's out number 2. Swanson got jammed, did not make great contact. 2 gone, no score, just underway. Seiya Suzuki, the batter. The Cubs leadoff man presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Ian Happ would have gotten a base hit, Benny's would have donated $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Suzuki, the batter, he'll take outside for ball 1. Seiya 1 for 4 in the series opener. Lights are on. They have very good lighting here at Citizens Bank Park. Fastball is outside for a ball. The count 2-0. Most parks these days have very efficient lighting.
I would say the parks that are probably the darkest are the indoor stadiums that have the retractable roof.
Suzuki lines a base hit to left toward the corner. It's going to get all the way to the wall and bounce off the barrier. Hayes plays it to second, throwing, sliding safe is Suzuki with a double. Hayes made a good play, played it quickly off the wall over near the corner. Suzuki hustling for a sliding 2-out double.
Boy, and Hayes made a nice play in the corners, right? He goes and gets this ball off the wall and shows a very strong arm. Suzuki digging all the way, too. And Hayes throws an absolute strike to second base, and Seiya has to slide in to beat the throw.
Cody Bellinger with a chance to drive in the game's first run. Swings and misses at the left-hander's first pitch. Bellinger 0 for 4 last night. Doubles by Cubs batters brought to you by Traffic Tech. Double up your business with Traffic Tech, the hardest working team in transport. Bellinger at 73 RBIs. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good crowd, but not nearly as large as last night's sellout audience. Over 42,000 were here to see the Phillies clinch the division title last night, and it got loud. Pop fly, shallow left, easy play for Hayes, inning over. Cubs don't score. Suzuki had a double. He is stranded. After a half, Cubs 0, Phillies. Coming up, this is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score, official radio home of the Cubs.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster!
I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race for some ice cream. Let's go.
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
First inning sponsored by Invesco QQQ. Tomorrow's innovation awaits with Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated. First pitch inside to Kyle Schwarber from the left-hander Justin Steele. No score, bottom of the first. Steele with a record of 5-5 comes back. Swing and a miss. Very good fastball. As you think about Justin Steele working against these Phillies tonight, Ron, what are some of the things you're thinking about?
Well, I just think for Steele getting, back on track. He threw in the mid-50s for his last outing coming off the injured list. So maybe being able to go a little deeper into the ball game in one of his might be his last start. And, so you're looking at a guy that wants to finish on an upswing, right, and get back pitching. So I would guess somewhere in that 70 to 75 pitches, maybe even up to 80. But just feeling good on the mound and having a final good outing against this Phillies club.
Swing and a miss. Schwarber chasing a wicked breaking ball that ended up low and outside. It's a strikeout for Justin Steele. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. Those are always brought to you by the good people at Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Own every mile in a brand new Hyundai. No score. Trey Turner, the batter, takes inside. Sometimes right after a team clinches a division, the next night, after a night of celebration, some of the regulars get the night off, but a lot of regulars for the Phillies are in this lineup tonight. Bounce to third, glove by Paredes, straightens up, takes his time, makes a good throw to get him 2 down. No score first inning. But they're playing for the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Let me ask you this before you respond to that. Does the home field advantage still mean as much to you as it always has?
That's a very good question because we've seen reasons to the contrary with the way the playoffs have gone.
Deep drive to center. Back goes Crow Armstrong near the center field fence. That ball is gone for a home run. Bryce Harper, a line drive over the center field fence. Crow Armstrong ran back. The wall is only 6 feet high in dead center. It runs about 90 feet. So even low liners can leave the yard in the straightaway area in deep center. That one just did clear the barrier, and it's 1-0 Phillies.
Boy, and this is the ball. Pete Crow Armstrong he's flying after this ball, thinking he's got a chance at catching this. It's just a fastball down and in to Harper, and he drops the head of the bat on it, and he hits just a line drive about 410 feet from home plate.
1-0 Phils, number 30 for Bryce Harper, his 87th run batted in. He's in the category of a guy who hits the ball about as hard as anybody in the big leagues. He whistled that line drive out of here. I noticed the reaction of Crow Armstrong kind of kicking down at the dirt as soon as the ball left the yard. I'm wondering if he was thinking that he had a chance to possibly catch that ball. I'm trying to figure out how he would have, but he's such a great defensive player, Ron. That pride kicks in. You think anything in your area, you're going to make the play.
Well, I think he's got a chance at catching this if he can get to the wall before the baseball and get set to jump. The problem is that ball's probably hit it's a rocket off the bat, so he couldn't get to the wall before the ball got.
Fly ball, shallow center, racing in, making a running catch is Crow Armstrong to end the inning. Bryce Harper homers. We go to the second inning. Phillies 1, Cubs 0. This is the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Ian Happ. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, save big on top brands during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, save $40 on select 5-gallon Valspar paint, like Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense, or Valspar Stain. Plus, save $20 on 5-gallon pails of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams All-Purpose Power Primer. Shop these limited-time deals and more in-store or online. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 10/27. See store at Lowe's.com for details.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Les Miserables, still the world's most popular musical. Experience the breathtaking production that leaves both audiences and critics awestruck. Les Miserables. December 17th to January 5th at the Cadillac Palace Theater. Tickets available at BroadwayInChicago.com today.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
1-0 Phillies. The second inning is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Remember, on Southwest, 2 bags fly free. Huh?
That's a good point, Zach. Here's a chopper, or rather a little pop fly foul out of play left side. 2 bags fly free on Southwest Airlines. Got it. We'll keep reminding you, that's a very cool deal. Paredes, Bush, and Horner. Ron, let's get back to the home field advantage. You hear a lot about it this time of year. Now, let me throw out a couple of thoughts. To me, it does not mean quite as much as it once did. Here's the pitch on the way. High fly ball to left, shallow, playable for Hayes. Racing over toward the line now in foul territory and slides into the sidewall. No play. That ball is out of play.
Flags blowing across the field from the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole. So when that ball gets up high, the wind's going to take it. And I thought that ball was fair for sure. The wind blew it into the stands.
And I'll tell you why it doesn't mean quite as much as it once did, Ron. Last year, the World Series champions, the Texas Rangers, they were 11-0 in road games for the postseason. So the home field advantage meant absolutely nothing to them.
Right. Yeah.
Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss by Paredes. Strike 3. That is out number 1 here in the second inning. Phillies lead 1-0. The Phillies had the home field advantage in the NLCS last year. They had games 6 and 7 here against Arizona, lost them both. That's another example. And I think my favorite example would be the Cubs winning the World Series in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That would have been great at Wrigley, and it would have been the ultimate for Cub fans, but just the fact that they won it anywhere is okay with me.
Yeah, same.
Right?
Yeah. After 108 years, we weren't going to complain about winning it in Cleveland.
Going outside to Michael Busch. But I just wonder if does it mean the same to ball players as it once did?
I think it means the same. I just don't think, and I really don't have a good answer for the whole idea.
Busch gets hit by the pitch, and he will take his base. It was up near the ribcage area, I believe. He tried to jump out of the way, and he got nailed walking slowly head down to the first base bag, and he's wincing in pain. He's hurting.
Yeah, that one, what it does is it hits you in the ribs first and knocks the wind out of you, and you start moving, and then next thing you know, you're having a hard time breathing. Yeah, that's probably 93 mile an hour, 94 mile an hour fastball right in the rib cage. And it didn't hit arm or anything first. It hit ribs, then arm.
Michael Busch at first. One away. Cubs trail 1-0 in the second inning.
He's still trying to catch his breath over there at first base. He's not ready to go yet.
But now, thinking about home field advantage, the Phillies, have been reading this the last couple of nights. They have the best home record this season in the entire big leagues. They are very impressive, 53-26 in this park. So winning better than 2 out of 3. Pitch on the way to Nico Horner is going to be taken in there for a strike. So I would say perhaps in a case like that, maybe for them, since they're so comfortable and winning so frequently this year, maybe it does have a little more significance.
I would say yes. And I would, if you're just asking me in general terms, I would say the home field advantage has a lot to do with it. You want to play in front of your home crowd and have the crowd affect the opposing team. And stress on the umpire also having 40-some thousand constantly on him every pitch, and same thing with the opposing team. But I don't have a real answers. That pitch misses wide to Nico. I don't think anybody does. Well, how you could understand how the visiting team could have won every game in the World Series last year, and the winning team in the World Series won 11 straight.
Lined up the middle, base hit for Nico Horner. Busch will stop at second. A whistling line drive right back through the box. Before Crow Armstrong bats, Cubs have 2 men on with 1 away, trailing 1-0 in the second inning. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs and all of Chicago's teams. Mully and Hawk, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Pete Crow Armstrong now to face the left-hander.
Don't you just feel like everything is so much more comfortable when you're playing at home? That it's just a real oddity of what's been going on lately. And I don't have an answer. Do you have any kind of thought that would make any sense at all? Because I got nothing. I really don't. I'm looking and going, for 17 straight years of playing professional baseball, I always felt more comfortable playing on my home field. Every game,
absolutely.
17 straight years.
Plus, there's the distinct strategic advantage of getting to bat last.
Yeah, right.
That in itself is a big advantage that any manager would say, I want to be at home for any ball game, let alone postseason. But, you look at the World Series, there have been a couple of World Series or playoff series where the visiting team has won all 7 games. It happened in 2019 when Washington beat Houston. Imagine that. Now round a bunt and bunting it over the head of the pitcher. It'll be barehanded by the second baseman. Throw to first late. Bunt single for Crow Armstrong. Not the way he wanted to bunt it, but it worked out okay. It's a bunt base hit. Bags are loaded.
Pete shows bunt, and he pulls this ball with him, but he pulls it and pops it up. And it goes right over the pitcher's head, Banks. And once it gets over his head and lands and doesn't get caught, that's going to be a base hit. You're never going to throw Armstrong out at first base.
Bunts by Cubs batter, sponsored by Fireplace and Chimney Authority. Visit online or their Elmhurst and Lyle showrooms. Tanner Banks, we told you he was only going to work briefly in the game, and he will exit as manager Rob Thompson will make a pitching change. Cubs have a good scoring chance. Base is loaded with 1 away in the second inning, and this pitching change by the opposition is sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at Sloan.com. Phillies lead 1-0, second inning, but the Cubs have them loaded with 1 away when we come back on The Score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to every Cubs game all season long right here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are going to need a bigger cake.
Now through October 10th, get fast, reliable 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $30 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract with free Wi-Fi equipment included. And ask how to get an eligible free 5G phone with Xfinity Mobile. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan and auto-pay stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
A reminder that Spiegel and Holmes talk Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday from 2 to 6 on 670 The Score and the Odyssey app. Pat?
Taijuan Walker, normally a starting pitcher. Walker this year worked 82 innings. We'll get some of his other numbers as we move along as Miguel Amaya is at the plate.
Yeah, for Walker this year, he's got a very high ERA, just under a 7 ERA. But he is one of those guys that has been in the league a long time and been a starter for a long time for a few different ball clubs.
Amaya takes outside for a ball. Walker, big, tall right-hander. He's pitched for several different teams. His record 3-7 this season. He misses down low. Getting back to other series where the visiting team is absolutely dominated. I think it was a couple of years ago in the American League Championship Series between Texas and Houston. That's another example where in a 7-game series, the visiting team won all 7 games. Now the 2-1 on the way to Amaya. Pulled on the ground foul past third. But it just seems odd, Ron, that seems to be happening more frequently. I have another theory I was thinking of.
Okay.
It may not hold much validity. I want your opinion as a ball player. When you get to the postseason, every game, you feel like the season is on the line.
Yeah.
And it's one of the biggest games you will ever play in your entire life. The tension is high. You are so focused that maybe you're not really thinking about where I am as much as what do I have to do.
I would agree to that. There's no doubt about that, that your focus once you get into a ball game, and crowd noises and things like that play less of a role.
Bouncer foul toward third.
When you're playing, because there are a lot of games you can, and when you play a long time, you play in packed houses all the time, and you get accustomed to the crowd noise getting loud, but it almost gets to be white noise after a while. and not all the time. I mean, there are times we've heard at Wrigley where it can be just crazy loud.
Outside 3-2 on Amaya, bases loaded, one away. So you're just so focused that you kind of block it out.
Yeah, it just gets louder, but it doesn't affect you as what you're doing on the field so much. But it still seems odd that the visiting team would win that much.
Amaya pops it up foul off to the right and out of play. Case in point, Texas. I remember talking to their longtime broadcaster, Hall of Famer Eric Nadel, right after the World Series. And I said, tell me this, you guys won all 11 road games. How many times have you done that in the regular season? He couldn't remember.
No, I would say never.
I don't think we've ever done that.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Here's the 3-2, and he's only been there about 40 years. Breaking ball outside, it forces in a run. And these Philly fans, boy, it didn't take them long to turn, did it? They win a Division one night, and in the top of the second inning the next night, they're booing.
Champagne one night and sour grapes the next.
Bush scores on the bases loaded walk.
Welcome to Philly.
Game tied at 1. What have you done for me lately?
Yep.
And now Ian Happ will swing and miss. What has Zach Zaidman done for us lately? Handed me the diaper dandy sign.
Congratulations.
Not sign, but commercial.
Yeah,
It's kind of a sign. Here's the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Ian Happ from Taiwan Walker. And here it comes. And Ian lines one down the right field line. That is a foul ball. I was envisioning a bundle of RBIs there for a split second, and I know Ian was also. Foul by about 2 feet. Walks by opposing pitcher, sponsored by North Shore Adult Diapers. Reassuringly strong protection for even the heaviest control problems. Yes, sir. Visit northshore.com. I ad-libbed the yes, sir part. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's down low to Ian Happ. And somebody ad-libbed that.
I was going to say, Zach's been ad-libbing the happy customer thing for, a good 4 months. He's a happy camper every day.
It's just the whistling of a satisfied customer.
Yeah.
Happ chops it foul right side. In fact, sometimes when I get to the game early, Zach is a very early arriver. He's rehearsing that sound.
Is he just practicing it?
Yeah, all by himself in the booth.
Wow.
And he's very proud of himself, and he should be.
An air of relief.
Here's a pitch inside to Ian Happ.
I guess better than the consequences other than that.
Yeah.
That's
and
positive.
We'll continue this discussion later.
Yeah.
Perhaps even off the air. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ian Happ. And the pitch outside. Oh, boy, if he walks in another run, they're really going to let him have it.
Yeah. RBIs, how about this? RBIs by Cubs Batters Pet. They're sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter.
Now the 3-2. Ian Happ fouls it away. Still 3-2. Phillies have very loyal and passionate fans. But if you do something they don't like, they're not bashful about expressing their opinion. 3-2 pitch, high and outside, ball 4. Oh, let's listen. Back-to-back bases loaded walks issued by Taiwan Walker, forcing in a pair of runs, and the Cubs have a 2-1 lead. Ian Happ with RBI number 86. Shouldn't those bases loaded walks be in a slightly different RBI category?
Yeah.
It's called runs batted in.
Yeah.
Where is the batting part of that?
Yeah,
I just don't see it.
No, it's an at-bat, I guess. That's about it. Walker getting talked to by his catcher when it goes out there, Stubbs.
Yeah.
Safe at the plate here today. That's sponsored by Granger. Think safety, think Granger.
Now, Zach Zaidman handed me another Diaper Dandy commercial read.
Would you like me to do the Diaper Dandy this one?
If you'd like to,
yeah, well,
sure.
I don't want to take away your thunder, and certainly don't want to take away all the practice Zach's been doing all day.
I don't feel a lot of thunder when I do that, just so you know. Here's the pitch on the way to Swanson. It's taken down low for a ball.
That's positive.
But Zach adds part deux, D-E-U-X, which, is that two in French or Swahili or some language? Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Line drive down the left field line, foul.
Now, I have not spoken Swahili in quite some time.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Here you go.
Is that French, Zach? I should know that.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Do you speak any French?
No.
He knows the word too.
Here's the 1-1. It's very extensive. And a breaking ball is low and outside. Did you read that, or did somebody inform you of deux being two?
That's all I know. It's the only word we. O-U-I. Right?
We? You mean you and the engineer, Pat Cuneen, in the back row? Is that what you mean by we? Here is a swing and a miss by Swanson. The count 2-2. Ron and I are down in the front row, and Zach and Pat Cuneen are in the back, and that's why he said we. Here comes the 2-2.
Bonjour.
Now, bonjour, what does that mean? I've heard it, but what does it mean?
Hello, isn't it?
Or goodbye?
Yes.
Sure.
It can be both. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball toward the middle. Backhand diving stop by Sosa. Throws to first in time. A run scores. He saved a base hit, and possibly another run would have scored. Sosa just made an incredible play. A diving backhand stop. The second baseman got up and made the play to first.
Boy, that's some kind of play. This ball has center field written all over it. Sosa lays out, catches this ball. There's no play at second. He just comes up and then throws a strike across the diamond and gets Swanson by half a step. What a play.
Cubs get another run on the play. It's now 3-1. Runners at second and third, two down for Seiya Suzuki. And Seiya lays off a high fastball, but it's called a strike by the umpire, Alex Tosi.
And walks by opposing pitcher, sponsored by North Shore Adult Diapers, reassuringly strong protection for even the heaviest control problems. Visit northshore.com.
Well, now that would be part three. Zach, do you have a French word for three? I didn't think so.
No.
Here comes the set. And the 1-1 on the way to say a fouled away off to the right.
Yeah.
You do have one?
Those French lessons are paying off, see?
Was that an online course that you may have taken?
Skipped a few days, I think. Yeah.
If I were to go into learning a lot of French, yes, I would go online.
Would you? Okay.
Yeah.
1-2. The pitch to Seiya. Line drive, base hit to left. One run is in. Happ's going to try to score. The throw by Hayes to the plate. Not in time. Sliding in is Ian Happ. Two-run single, Seiya Suzuki, who scampers down to second on the throw home. Cubs lead 5-1.
It's one of those innings for Philadelphia. You know, you get a hit by a pitch and a base hit, and then things start going the wrong way. A bunt single and a few walks, and Cubs doing some damage here in the second inning.
I think Happ sensed that throw was going to be offline, so he slid as far away from the catcher as he could and able to get the foot on home plate before Stubbs tagged him. Nice piece of sliding and base running by Ian. Cody Bellinger, the ninth man to bat in the inning, takes inside for a ball.
And I always think, you know, the day after you clinch, I know Philadelphia, the guys, I'm assuming last night, they had their fun and enjoyed the celebration of winning, but there's still a lot of work to be done, and they've got, you know, the goal in mind for Philadelphia is to win the last game in October. That's their goal. And so you have your celebration last night, but then it gets shut down, and you know that there's more baseball to be played and more things to do. But there's always that feeling of, there's always that, I don't want to say a letdown, but just, you know, it's like, I guess it is just a letdown. I don't know. The day after you clinch and you celebrate, that next game is always a tough ball game to play.
Deep drive fouled off to the left out of play. You've been shooting for the division title for almost 6 full months. Right. So it would be only natural, Ron, that there would be some slight letdown the day after you achieve that major goal.
Yep.
Not that it's your final goal for the year by any means.
We were kind of joking about this in the pregame show, Zach and I, and we were talking, and I said, now just remember, Phillies, they clinched last night.
Bellinger lines a base set to left. Suzuki around third, heading home. The throw by Hayes. The slide, the tag, not in time. Again, down to second goes Bellinger. Cubs lead 6-1. Hayes threw it all the way to the plate. So no chance for that ball to be cut off. And the fans not happy with Taijuan Walker here in this second inning.
Well, this inning has just gotten away from Philadelphia. Banks came in and left the game with the bases loaded, and Walker hasn't done any better. And the Cubs throwing up a big 6 spot in this second inning.
Happ scoring with a slide. Suzuki scoring with a slide. Here's the pitch to Isaac Paredes. Isaac started off the inning with a strikeout, and now he bats for the second time. A 6-run rally. Bellinger with his 74th run batted in. And the pitch to Isaac is outside, and the count 1-1.
When you think some of these guys for Philly now, Walker being one of them, who's gonna be on that playoff roster is the other thing you're looking at, right? I would think.
Drive toward right center on the run. Rojas, the center fielder, makes the catch to end the inning. But RBIs by Cubs batters, sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Cubs score 6 on 4 hits, leave 1. Middle of inning number 2, Cubs 6, Phillies 1. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Chicago Cubs memories are made right here with Pat, Ron, and Zach on the Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster! I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race or some ice cream. Let's go.
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
Justin Steele all of a sudden finds himself with a 6-1 lead. He gave up that home run to Bryce Harper in the first, but now the Cubs, after a 6-run rally, lead by 5. Nick Castellanos will take a strike. Here's a drive to right toward the corner. Long run Bellinger. That ball is going to be fair, bouncing up against the wall. And Bellinger gets it back in. It's a stand-up double for Nick Castellanos.
Castellanos, we know, he does such a good job of using the whole field. This is a breaking ball up and out over the plate. Might even have been away. And he just shoots it down that right field line.
Cubs baseball brought to you in part by Grainger. In fact, the Cubs get ready for game day with Grainger. Call click Grainger.com or stop by for the products your team needs. Grainger, official partner of the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field.
Pat Bellinger is now in the game at first base. He got moved from right field to first. Michael Tauchman is now in the game in right field after Michael Busch got drilled in the ribs with that fastball. He has been taken out of the game. Hopefully Michael will be okay. Double plays today, turned by the Cubs. They're sponsored by Nissan. They make cars the thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today at Nissan.
Steele 5-5 for the year. Missed a lot of playing and pitching time. Had the misfortune that you would not wish on anyone, and that is injuring yourself in the opening game of the season when you are the opening night starting pitcher.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Came off the mound on a little dribbler coming off the mound and caught a spike and ended up kind of hyperextending his leg, but it turned out to be a hamstring pull is what gave on him, and he missed about a month of the season.
One more game to go in this series tomorrow. The Cubs are home on Friday. The Cincinnati Reds will be at Wrigley all weekend long. Go to Cubs.com for ticket info. Austin Hayes waiting for the 1-2 pitch from Steele. High fly ball, deep left center, but it is playable for either Happ or Crow Armstrong. Happ dancing underneath it, makes the catch. Castellanos tags and moves up to third after the grab.
Well, that ball get hit up high and deep to left center field, and the wind really got a hold of that ball and blew it all the way to the warning track in that little kind of area where the wall kind of changes direction and goes across, then to 387, then back in, then back out. Kind of an odd spot, but Happer brings that ball in.
Edmundo Sosa, right-handed batting second baseman, swings and misses.
Good fastball there. This will end up throwing about 92, 93. He'll top out it. Speed gun as always. Powered by Xfinity. Stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once.
Swing and a miss. 0-2. Here's a spot where you need to strike out. You got a guy at third with one away. And with a 5-run lead, you've got the infield back naturally. So let's see if Justin can get the strikeout here. The strike 2 pitch on the way. Swinging a foul back. That Steele suffered that hamstring injury on opening night, trying to run down a bunt over near the first baseline in Texas against the Rangers. And he missed a solid month plus after that. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sosa chasing a pitch up around the shoulders. Strikeout number 2 for Justin Steele. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. Brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Own every mile in a brand new Hyundai. 2 down. Here's Garrett Stubbs.
Boy, that pitch that he swung at, that ball was literally shoulder high.
Fastball inside the Stubbs. Zach Zaidman tracking the other games around the big leagues. There are 5 teams that have already nailed down or clinched a postseason berth. But still 7 more to go between now and Sunday. Stubbs takes outside. The count now 1-1. And the next pitch bunted toward first. It's going to get the run in. Bellinger dives. Did he tag the runner? No. It's a bunt single for Garrett Stubbs. Stubbs diving in head first at first. Bellinger made a dive toward the foot of the batter. And now Cody's going to go over and tag the runner, but I'm pretty sure he was safe as he hit the bag.
Belly goes in to dive at the runner, Stubbs, and he dives low, thinking Stubbs is going to be down, diving low. Stubbs dives up and out and touches the back part of the bag with his hand. Unbelievable play by Stubbs. Belly giving it all he's got and dives for the bag. Try to tag Stubbs, but Stubbs touches the backside of the bag. Pretty nice play.
Very surprising play, Ron.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Stubbs, a catcher. When's the last time you saw a catcher with a guy at third and one away? Actually, two away. Two away makes it even stranger.
Yeah, right.
Two away, bunt for a base hit, and then a sprawling dive to be safe at first. I don't know if I've ever seen that exact sequence before.
No, Belly's diving in to tag him because Belly fields this ball in on the infield grass. So he can't get to the bag. But he goes straight across to tag Stubbs and dives low across the dirt. Stubbs dives over the top of him. I mean, that's just one of those plays. To explain it, they wouldn't believe you.
Zach has a note here regarding Stubbs. He's got 15 career bunt hits. That's the most by any active catcher. Thank you, Zach. That's heads up by you. And here's the pitch to Johan Rojas. What was that, Zach?
Still a very odd play, though, that you bunt with the man on third and get that hit, but he executed it well.
Would that thought have even crossed your mind, Ron? 2 outs in a big league game, a guy at third, and you're batting. Would a bunt have even entered your mind at all?
Not in 17 years.
If you would have played 30 years, I don't think it would have.
Not in 30 years, no.
Rojas with a count of 1-2. And the next pitch, fly ball left center. On the run, Happ and Crow Armstrong. Crow Armstrong makes the catch. He can cover a lot of territory. 1 run for the Phillies on 2 hits. We go to the third. Cubs 6, Phillies 2. This is the score. And the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Dansby Swanson. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
De Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster! I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race for some ice cream. Let's go.
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Mike Tuckman is on deck. Who's on deck is sponsored by On Deck. Need a small business loan fast? Apply today at ondeck.com. Pat?
All right, Zach, I mentioned 5 teams have already qualified and have a berth in the postseason, the Phillies being one of them. The others, Milwaukee, the Yankees, Cleveland, and the Dodgers. So 5 spots have been grabbed, 7 still at large. As we go to inning number 3, Mike Tauchman batting for the first time. Mike will take a strike from The right-hander Taiwan Walker. Here's a swing and a foul back and out of play. Just reading about Charlie Blackmon, Ron, the Colorado long-time outfielder, mainly center, but I guess he's been playing right a bit in his later years. Here's a pitch down low, but he's going to retire after this week. Spent all 14 years as a big leaguer with Colorado. He was a National League batting champion in 2017, hit a cool .331. But he's 38 years old, and he finishes with a career average, you'll like this, as a former hitter, .292.
Oh, wow.
You know how hard that is to get hits in the big leagues.
That's good, boy.
Here's the pitch to Tauchman, swing and a miss on a change of pace, out number one. And the number I brought up to you because it really surprised me. I knew Charlie got a lot of hits.
Right.
The home run total, very surprising and impressive. 226 home runs.
Yeah, a lot of bombs. For a guy that hit leadoff a lot, right? I mean, he let off a lot early in his career in that lineup.
Now, some of that is playing at Coors Field. Here's Nico Horner lining one down the left field line, base hit all the way to the corner. This will be a standing two-bagger for Nico Horner, and he is 2 for 2.
Swing by Nico as he lines this ball to left for a base knock. Good swing. He's all over that fastball inside.
Charlie Blackmon on his Instagram account had a very interesting quote. I'm going to read it and get your reaction and Zach's as well, because I have not figured out part of it. And it made me chuckle, actually, is what it did. That's why I wrote it down. The reporters were asking him about retirement. What are you going to do? He says, well, as the next pitch to Crow Armstrong is down, he says, I'll hop over that fence, pickle the beast, and embrace the next phase of my life. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever pickled a beast in my entire life. Here's the 1-1 taken high. If I did, it seems to me I would remember it.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Have you pickled any beasts?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, it's personal.
Yeah, I'm getting used to it, though.
If you would you have admitted it on Cubs radio?
I'm not real sure, to be honest with you. Now, Zach, can you chime in on pickling the beast?
I cannot chime in on pickling the beast.
I thought Zach was an old beast pickler from way back. Here's a swing, a liner foul down the left field line.
But I do remember the movie Sandlot. They used that line.
They did.
Yeah. I still don't know what it means, but.
Well, being in a pickle is being in a rundown. That's right. That's kind of what that means.
But you're going to run down the beast? Is that the idea? The runner goes. Horner running has to go back as the ball is hit to deep right and caught by Castellanos up against the right field fence for out number one. Horner had a good jump but had to return to second. One away. Crow Armstrong for the second straight night is retired on a warning track long fly ball.
Yeah, this ball barely stays in the yard. He just got it off the end of the bat enough to keep it in the ballpark. Third inning is sponsored by Grainger, official partner of the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by.
Miguel Amaya had a bases loaded walk his first time. He pops it up sky high with 2 down. Horner rounding third, but that ball is going to be caught by Sosa, the second baseman. So Amaya pops out. Cubs get a double from Nico and nothing else. And there was also one pickled beast. We go to the bottom of the third. Cubs 6, Phillies 2. This is the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster!
I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race for some ice cream. Let's go.
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
Time to check the out-of-town scoreboard, fueled by Citgo Tri-Clean Gasoline. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. One final on the board. The Tigers, a 2-1 winner over the Rays as Tarek Skubal picks up his 18th win. He's now 18-4 with a 2.39 ERA. Bunch of games in progress. Back top of the fourth. The Guardians leading the Reds 3-0. Lane Thomas, a 2-run shot. Brewers on top of the Pirates 3-2 after 3.
What else you got, Zach?
The Royals and Nationals are scoreless in the top half of the first inning. The Orioles strike first. They've got a 1-0 lead over the Yankees in the top half of the second. After 2, Red Sox and Blue Jays are scoreless in Toronto.
Justin Steele working on Kyle Schwarber. The pitch fouled away. 1-2.
And one other game. It's an important one. Bottom of the first inning. Mets and Braves scoreless in Atlanta.
Thanks to Zach for the updates. Here it is 6-2 Cubs. Bottom of inning number 3. Cubs trying to even up the series. And a win apiece. Schwarber chops it foul.
So I did a little research in between innings, Pat.
Yes.
On the term pickling the beast.
Okay, fine.
So it is from the movie Sandlot. And remember Benny the Jet in the movie Sandlot?
I'll say yes.
Yeah, good. Play along. It's So he was the real good player who ended up being a Dodger at the end, at the end of the movie. Now, it's the movie's about 40 years old, so I'm not spoiling it for anybody. But they played in the Sandlot, and if they hit a ball over the wall for a home run, it went into the backyard where they had the big dog. Oh. And when the ball went in the yard, that was the end of the game because they didn't have another ball. So finally, they had a ball in the backyard. The story goes it was signed by Babe Ruth. So Benny was going to hop the wall, grab the ball, and pickle the beast, which meant get out of the yard as Schwarber strikes out swinging on a high fastball. He was going to jump over, grab the ball, and beat the dog over the wall and basically get in a pickle with the dog, but get over the wall. And he called it pickling the beast.
Very interesting. So I thought you were going to say he gave the dog a pickle to kind of distract him while he climbed back over the fence. Here's a chopper to third, fielded by Paredes. He will throw out Trey Turner, and that's out number 2.
Now, that could be an option. I would think maybe cheeseburger probably work better than a pickle, but
you're right.
But that was the term pickling the beast.
Pickling the beast. I'll be darned.
How do you feel? How do you feel now after all that?
More confused. 2 down here in the third. The batter is Bryce Harper.
So just make sure you don't get into any pickles on the way home after the ball game tonight here.
Certainly not after this discussion. Bryce Harper waiting for the pitch from Steele, and it's taken high for a ball. I love to read about baseball, and whenever I come across something that I don't know about, I like to write it down and then discuss it on Cubs radio. It's a lot of fun. Chopper, first base side, fielded by Bellinger, shovels it to Steele. The play goes 3-1, and the Phillies go 1-2-3. It's on to inning number 4. Cubs 6, Phils 2. This is the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs radio network.
Every home run and double play is called by Pat and Ron on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
Pros, save big on top brands during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, save $40 on select 5-gallon Valspar paint, like Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense, or Valspar Stain. Plus, save $20 on 5-gallon pails of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams All-Purpose Power Primer. Shop these limited-time deals and more in-store or online. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 10/27. See store at Lowe's.com for details.
This is Jean Marie Laskus with the podcast Cement City. So there's this election coming up, a big one, and one guy's been indicted. People are talking voter fraud. Democracy itself is on the line. Sound familiar? Well, this isn't that election. This one is in Denora, Pennsylvania, a dying town in the middle of nowhere, where I bought a house and stayed for 3 years. Listen to and follow Cement City, an Odyssey original podcast in partnership with Cement City Productions, available now for free on the Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Whether you're on the water, hitting the trails, or soaking up the sun, Shade & Precision Eyewear provides superior protection and clarity. Since life's too short to compromise on quality, visit SeeBetterPlayBetter.com to explore their range of premium sunglasses.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Top four in Philadelphia. The Cubs with a 6-2 lead over the Phillies. The fourth inning is sponsored by Wintrust, the exclusive home of Cubs checking. Pat?
Cubs put 6 on the board in the second inning and lead 6-2. Phillies scoring in each of the first 2 innings. Bryce Harper had a first inning home run. Then the Cubs at 6 in the second. Miguel Amaya and Ian Happ both walked with the bases loaded. Happ drives one in the air, deep right foul, curling out of play. Dansby Swanson drove in a run with a ground out. Seiya Suzuki singled to drive in 2 more. And Cody Bellinger had a run-scoring single, as the Cubs got all 6 in that second inning. Phillies got a run in the bottom of the second. Garrett Stubbs with a bunt RBI single, driving in Nick Castellanos. Happ swings and misses. Happ's power numbers looking very healthy, 25 and 86. Cracks one to right in the corner. That ball is going to be a foul ball. Solidly hit ball.
Boy, that's just a line drive bullet. And it misses the yellow line next to the 330 mark down the line by a foot. It just bangs straight into the wall about 2/3 of the way up. Just foul. Coming in live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Phillies clinching the division last night run. I was a little surprised to see it was their first division title since 2011. I didn't realize it had been that long. Yeah. Manager Rob Thompson leading the way. And, of course, you had that kind of a year. You're going to cash in attendance. They've drawn over 3.2 million for the year. So averaging better than 40,000 per home game. And the Phillies ended the Braves' run of 6 consecutive National League Eastern titles. Happ will take ball 4. He gets on base to begin this 4th inning. We're going to play the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. And it's a good crowd tonight. I'm looking up there. It's gotten bigger, I think, since the game started. I'll bet we have 37,000 here. I'll say 37,173. Swanson looks at a ball inside. Colby Allard is now warming in the bullpen for the Phillies. Taijuan Walker still on the mound. Here's the pitch on the way. Line to left, down the line, curling, fair ball bouncing into the corner. Happ racing to third on a 2-base hit by Dansby Swanson. Cubs at second and third with nobody out.
That ball well struck. Little pitch up and out over the plate. Dansby keeps that ball fair as he hooks it into the corner. And Hear the cheers. That'll bring out Rob Thompson, and fans not been too happy with Walker in today's ballgame.
So a pitching change will be made. Pitching changes by the opposition. Those are always brought to you by Sloan. You can hear the fans letting Walker know what they thought about his performance tonight. It's Sloan. They sponsor the opposing pitching changes. Sloan is the official water efficiency partner of the Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Cubs lead 6-2. We're in the fourth inning, and we'll be right back with more in a moment on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Chicago Cubs memories are made right here with Pat, Ron, and Zach on the Cubs Radio Network.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Lease the Tucson for $229 a month or get 1.99% APR plus $500 bonus cash on the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. See your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealer today. Offers end September 30th. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
Step into the batter's box for BetMGM's Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Pick an area of the strike zone and take your best swing. Log into your BetMGM sports account, then visit your promotion section to access the free-to-play game. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, Illinois only, existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary depending on market and expire 24 hours from issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB2 53342 in partnership with Paradise Hotel Casino.
A reminder, the pitch clock is powered by Work Zone Safety. Make sure you follow Work Zone signs. It's not a game. So, Pat, you made your guess in the attendance game, 37,173. That means we need a guess from Coop, and I'll follow, or vice versa, depending on Coop's choice.
Colby Allard is the new pitcher for the Phillies. He inherits runners at second and third, and facing Seiya Suzuki. Let's see if the Phillies bring the infield in. They will on the right side of the diamond, and now they're going to bring everyone in. So real good RBI chance for Seiya. He takes a breaking ball strike from Allard.
Seiya with 2 hits in the ballgame, a double and a single, and 2 RBIs so far.
Foul drive to right. Down the line, that ball is going to be out of play. A lot of room in foul territory here. Doubles by the Cubs this season. Sponsored by Traffic Tech. Double up your business with Traffic Tech, the hardest working team in transport.
And a pitch clock powered by Work Zone Safety. Make sure you follow Work Zone signs. It's not a game.
Speaking of it's not a game, Zach's post-game show is called the It's Not a Game Illinois.com Cubs radio post-game show. That's coming up after our ball game tonight. Seiya takes outside. Suzuki now with 73 RBIs. He can add to that total right now. And he hits it foul out of play. Got a pitch to hit. Cubs looking for only their second win in 5 games against the Phillies this year. The next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Suzuki strikes out, and Bellinger coming up with 1 away in minutes second and third.
Little breaking ball. This ball is middle. Say a big swing just underneath it.
Bellinger has flied out and singled to left to drive in a run. He hits a high pop fly. It will not get the job done. The shortstop Turner will make the catch, and that's out number 2. 2 gone. Men still at second and third for Isaac Paredes.
Designated hitters tonight for the Cubs. They're sponsored by Fireplace and Chimney Authority. Visit online at their Elmhurst or Lyle's Showrooms. Cubs need a big 2-out hit here after having second and third, nobody out.
Paredes has struck out and flied out. And the pitch to Isak is in there for a strike. Paredes, since being acquired from Tampa with the Cubs, a .215 average, .215 with 3 home runs and 23 runs batted in. He will swing and foul this one away, and the count 0-2. His season RBI total looks pretty good, runs 78.
Yeah.
But I know the Cubs were hoping for quite a few more runs batted in and some more home runs than he has provided since the trade.
Yeah, he has had his struggles since coming to the Cubs from Tampa with the bat in his hand. He's done an okay job at third, but, getting accustomed to playing at Wrigley and things like that, hopefully next season that will get better and he'll be more comfortable playing at Wrigley Field in a Cubs uniform.
He was an all-star with Tampa Bay this season. And now the 1-2, he lays off some high heat. We'll get to some baseball history a little bit later on. This has been a special day in Cubs history. Change-up, swung on and missed, strike 3. Cubs don't score. They squandered a second and third no-out chance. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Cubs 6, Phillies 2. This is the score. And the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to every Cubs game all season long right here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Hey everybody, it's Savannah and Hoda from the Today Show.
From the simplest ways to save money to incredible hacks you never knew existed. Just remember,
see it, hear it, learn it on Today.
You just saved me $40.
Listen to the Today All Day channel live on the free Odyssey app.
League Leaders are sponsored by the Village of New Lenox, leading the way in residential and economic development. Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals, the major league leader in batting average, hitting at .335. Aaron Judge, 55 home runs. He leads the big leagues. Judge also the RBI leader with 138. He also leads in on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, and walks. Ellie Dela Cruz of the Reds, the stolen base leader with 65. Pat?
We will see Ellie at Wrigley this weekend, Zach. Shortstop for the Reds. 3-day game starting on Friday afternoon. Alec Bohm will lead off. Bohm without a hit in the series. Fly to center his first time tonight. Steals pitch, bounced over the mound. Behind second, Swanson gloves it and throws to first to get him. 1 up, 1 down. Cubs lead 6-2, 4th inning. The batter is Nick Castellanos.
That ball. Little pitch going away from Bohm. He hooks his ball back towards Steele. He was about to reach for it and then pulled his glove back like, nope, the guy behind me much better at fielding ground balls than I am. Yeah, 2-hopper to Swanson to get the routine out.
Castellanos takes outside. That's pretty good discipline by Steele to have that presence of mind, Ron, to say, no, I might bobble it. Dansby's right there.
Yeah. Let the Gold Glover catch it.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many things in baseball are instinctive. You see a ball, you make a move, and before you really analyze it, you've already made your play.
Yeah, absolutely. Things happen so fast.
I remember Jack Buck, the late Jack Buck, Cardinal Hall of Fame announcer, once said, baseball is a do-it game. There's a ground ball to short fielded by Swanson. He said, you just get into a situation and do it. As a base runner, as a defensive player, as a hitter, do it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It does. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I've never heard that phrase before. Never heard him say that, but I would agree. Yeah, there's not a lot of – once the game is rolling and the pitcher makes the throw to the plate, it's on, right? Here we go.
React to whatever you see.
That's right.
Anything in your area.
The hitter's reacting. The catcher's going to react. The umpire's going to react. Balls hit. The fielders are going to react.
2 down. Austin Hayes with a count of 0-1. Justin Steele, the left-hander for the Cubs, fires. Changeup is low. Cubs got all 6 of their runs in the second inning tonight. There is a strike to Hayes. Tomorrow, a half hour earlier than the first 2 games. Bouncer slowly hit to a charging Paredes. Tough play. Bare hands, no play. Infield single, Austin Hayes. And the batter, Edmundo Sosa.
Yeah, this one just chopped off the end of the bat. It bounces at home plate, then hits the grass, and Paredes picks this ball up on the third hop. By the time he gets to this ball, there's no chance. And it'll be a base hit.
Tomorrow night's game starts at 5:05 Central Time. Javier Assad against Christopher Sanchez. Sosa takes the strike. Hayes being held by Bellinger at first.
That Cubs at their final off day on Thursday.
Swing and a miss. Cubs will have 4 ball games to play after tonight. The 1 tomorrow, and then after the day off, 3 against the Reds, and that'll wrap it up. And now the 0-2 pitch on the way to Sosa from Steele. Just inside. Steele thought he had him. He was starting to stroll toward the Cubs' third base dugout.
I'm surprised that ball was not called strike 3. That's a good pitch. That inside cutter could have been called strike 3.
Yeah. And now the 1-2. Fouled away off to the right. This was a big day 40 years ago tonight. We'll talk about this later in the game as well, but the Cubs clinched the National League East flag, their first title since 1945, as Rick Sutcliffe pitched a 2-hitter to beat the Pirates. Liner foul to the seats in left. And Ron, I don't think we have time for the story that I love that you have when you saw that the Cubs were winning and celebrating in Pittsburgh, and you were, of course, a young Cubs fan living on the south side of Chicago, but we'll get to that later on. It's a lot of fun. I never get tired of hearing that story. Rick Sutcliffe was texting us last night, and I was thinking about the last batter. It was Joe Orsulak, left-handed hitter, and it was a called third strike. And I texted Rick, who was the home plate umpire that night? Within about 30 seconds, Lee Wire.
Yeah, he knew right away.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lee Wire rung up Orsulak, and then the celebration began.
Yeah.
40 years ago tonight. Is that possible? Bounce to third, foul, and we'll do it again.
It's a long time ago. Doesn't seem like it.
Jim Fry was the manager, but it was the first celebration, first postseason appearance for the Cubs in 39 years. Now, right now, the Cubs have not had a postseason game since 2018. That's 6 years, and it seems like an eternity.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Imagine what 39 years would have felt like.
Yeah. And they are not going to. So they're saying this ball hits Sosa in a left tricep, and Tony Randazzo, the home plate umpire, is saying that Sosa purposely got in front of this with his blocker and on the tricep and is not giving him the base. And that's exactly what Sosa did. Sosa put his arm out there purposely to take that ball there, and that's what happened.
That was an excellent call by the home plate umpire, Alex Tosi. And now Steele delivers 1-2 to Sosa. It's fouled away. You don't see that call very often. But
no, definitely not.
It's the right call. If a batter intentionally gets hit by a pitch by moving into the way of it, that's illegal.
Yeah.
And it'll simply be called a ball and not a hit by pitch. Fly ball foul off to the left, out of play.
Well, you see it a lot more now that guys wear that arm guard on their front arm, on their tricep, and covering their tricep and elbow. And they've learned to just turn into the ball and let it hit off that arm guard.
Cubs leading 6-2, bottom of inning number 4. Short lead at first by Hayes. Steele to Sosa, 1-2. And here it comes. Ripped foul past third. We'll do it again. Quite a battle between these two.
Sosa's got the poles. Every pitch Steele throws, he's hooked way foul.
So you say he has the poles?
He got the poles.
The 1-2 popped up. He had the poles, now he has the pops. It is caught by Bellinger at first, and that ends the inning. Zach Zaidman will join Ron Coomer in a moment. We've played 4 innings here in the city of brotherly love. Cubs 6, Phillies 2. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Nico Horner. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster! I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race for some ice cream. Let's go.
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
Mike Talkman leads off the top half of the fifth inning for the Cubs here in Philadelphia. It's the Cubs with a 6-2 lead over the Phillies here in the Potawatomi Casino Hotel fifth inning. Light up your senses. Left-hander Colby Allard deals, and that pitch is low. I should say in there for a strike. 0-1 the count to Talkman. Talkman entered the game after Michael Busch was taken out. Here's the pitch. That's outside. 1-1. Busch was apparently hit in the ribs by a pitch. Tried to stay in the game, but then eventually was removed. So Talkman entered the game, now playing right. Cody Bellinger was moved to first base as Talkman swings and misses. The count 1-2.
Zach, can we get to play the attendance game? I guess I'm reading your note here. Your guess. You want me to guess, or do you want to guess? I'll guess 38,000. How's that?
All right. That took the suspense out of it. I'll give my guess momentarily as Talkman waits for the 1-2 delivery. Here it comes. That's low and outside. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talk Cubs with us on Spiegel and Holmes, 2 to 6 afternoons on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Mike Talkman swings and misses. Strike 3, so 1 away. As Allard gets Talkman, it'll bring up Nico Horner. Cubs with a 6-2 lead over the Phillies here in the top half of the fifth inning. It's game 2 of a 3-game set. I'm going to go 39,000 for my guess, Kuhn. First pitch on the way to Horner is a breaking ball that floats into the zone for a strike. 0-1. Allard sets up high. Kicks and delivers. That's inside for a ball. 1-1. It's a bullpen game for the Phillies. Allard is the third man that Philadelphia has used this evening. The next pitch is a high pop fly. Shallow right coming in. Castellanos moving back Sosa. And it's Sosa who makes the catch. And gently colliding into him from behind was Castellanos. 2 away.
That's once again, you know, when you got 40,000 people in a ballpark or something close, it's tough to hear each other when you're calling a ball on the field. And Sosa calling it, so is Castellanos, and Sosa camped under it, made the catch.
Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. He takes a strike from Allard. A fastball at 90 miles an hour.
Sosa, after catching that ball, kind of pointed at his ears like, I didn't hear you.
Crow Armstrong looks at the ball low and outside. And yeah, you're right. With as many fans, and they're loud here in Philadelphia. As many fans as they've got, it is difficult to hear. That happens a lot at Wrigley Field. Here comes the 1-1. A bouncing ball foul off to the right, 1-2. PCA is 1 for 2 tonight. Singled in the second and flat out to right in the third. 2 away, top 5. Cubs up 6-2. Here's the pitch. Up high to Crow Armstrong, 2-2.
Yeah, Pete with a little bunt base hit. He drags a bunt over Banks' head, the starter, and left-hander bunted it right over the top of him on the mound.
Crow Armstrong goes the other way to left. A line drive that is caught by Hayes, who came racing in, angling toward the line for out number 3. Cubs go down in order here in the top of the fifth. Middle 5, it's the Cubs 6, Phillies 2 on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Anything can happen anytime in any game right here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, save big on top brands during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, save $40 on select 5-gallon Valspar paint, like Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense, or Valspar Stain. Plus, save $20 on 5-gallon pails of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams All-Purpose Power Primer. Shop these limited-time deals and more in-store or online. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 10/27. See store at Lowe's.com for details.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zidman with you. Last of the fifth here in Philadelphia. Cubs with a 6-2 lead over the Phillies. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Cubs have a new man on the mound. Veteran left-hander Drew Smiley takes over for the starter Justin Steele. Smiley's 3-8 this season with a 3.95 ERA and 48 appearances this year. Pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Garrett Stubbs at the plate. Left-handed hitter for Philadelphia, the backup catcher. Here's the pitch. That's low for ball one. Paredes, the third baseman, playing in on the infield grass. Stubbs had a bunt RBI single in his first at-bat in the second. Now the pitch. And slow again, 2-0. So Steele threw 58 pitches tonight. This was his second game coming off the injured list from that bad elbow. And the pitch. Called strike, 2-1.
Yeah, he had some inflammation in his elbow that they needed to get out of there. He was barking a little bit, and so he's thrown 2 games, both of them pitch counts in the mid-50s, coming off the injured list.
That last pitch, low and outside, 3-1 now on Stubbs. Yeah, so Steele going 4 innings, 2 runs on 4 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts.
So my computer just updated, so he had 62 pitches in today's game, so a few more than the last start.
That pitch low for ball 4. Stubbs a leadoff walk to begin the 5th.
I know in talking to Justin, he wanted to finish out the season pitching, not on the injured list, not being shut down. And it's a big tip of the cap to him for doing that. It would have been very easy, and I don't think he'd have got any pushback whatsoever with the Cubs falling out of the race, that he could have shut it down and just kind of went into the offseason on rehab. But he did not do that, kept rehabbing to get back on the mound and pitches his final 2 starts. So I think his teammates and everybody around the clubhouse will really appreciate that.
Johan Rojas at the plate, looks at a breaking ball for strike 1, and now Rojas calls time, steps out of the box. He's the number 9 hitter in the Phillies order. Their center fielder. No one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cubs have a 6-2 lead over Philadelphia. Stubbs at first after drawing a walk to lead off the frame. Paredes playing in on the edge of the infield grass. Here's the pitch. Foul out of play off to the right by Rojas in the hole 0-2. You can experience Wrigley Field in a whole new way. Visit WrigleyFieldEvents.com to explore a variety of luxury premier spaces to start planning your holiday event today. Smiley sets at the belt, looks at Stubbs at first, and deals. Called strike 3, a breaking ball that floated into the zone. A delayed call by the home plate umpire, Alex Tosi. 1 away. The first out, sponsored by Xfinity. Stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once.
Little backdoor breaking ball from Steele, or from Smiley, and this perfect pitch. Ball never a strike till it gets right to the strike zone and clips the outside corner at the knees for strike 3.
Here's Kyle Schwarber with a man at first and 1 away. Bottom 5, Cubs up 6-2. The pitch is a swing and a miss.
Cal cheating on a fastball there. Got the cutter.
So 0-1 the count. Schwarber struck out twice tonight. 37 home runs, 100 RBIs for Schwarber this season. The pitch. That's low for a ball, 1-1.
The other thing, too, is, you're looking at a guy whose batting average is way up there. I mean, compared to last year, he's got to be close to 50 points higher than his batting average from last year. So, very good season for Kyle.
The 1-1. Low and inside. 2-1 now on Schwarber.
Before the ball game today, he was honored out here in front of a full house of Philadelphia Philly fans as that's an award for community service, being the #1 community service award here in the city by Philadelphia Phillies. We know that with Kyle. He has been always first responders. There's a bunch of them in his family, and always been just one of the guys, right? He's just a great, great human being. Him and his wife and kids, great family, and congrats to him and good luck to him in the playoffs.
Now the 3-1. Schwarber swings, and it's a pop-up on the infield right near second base. Swanson makes the catch just to the left of the bag for out number 2.
Now back-to-back good pitches by Smiley to get the little pop-up.
So Stubbs at first, 2 down, bottom 5. Cubs with a 6-2 lead over the Phillies. Trey Turner stands in. The shortstop's 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs to third. And now a throw over to first, getting back, standing up, Stubbs. Schwarber's enjoyed a lot of postseason success since leaving the Cubs. Here's the pitch. High fly ball hit to shallow right field. Racing in, Talkman going back. Nico, it's near the line, and Horner makes the catch in fair territory, crossing over for the third out. Excellent athleticism by Nico, and that ends the 5th inning. Stubbs stranded on the bases. It's the Cubs with a 6-2 lead over the Phillies. On the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Justin Steele. Listen to every game here on Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
Whether you're on the water, hitting the trails, or soaking up the sun, Shade and Precision Eyewear provides superior protection and clarity. Since life's too short to compromise on quality, visit SeeBetterPlayBetter.com to explore their range of premium sunglasses.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
What is our promise? You have a dream for your life and the drive to make it real. At Aurora University, we'll help you build the knowledge and skills to prepare for a purposeful life and a fulfilling career. When you graduate, you're not just getting a degree, you're continuing on a pathway to a more successful tomorrow. It's your future, it's our promise. And it can only happen at Aurora University. Learn more at aurora.edu.
Miguel Amaya is on deck. Who's on deck is sponsored by On Deck. Need a small business loan fast? Apply today at OnDeck.com. And guys, today's Woodman's home run inning contestant is Ruben Enciso from McHenry, who will win the Woodman's gift card jackpot of $900 if a Northsider hits a home run this inning. You can enter the QR code at any Chicago area Woodman's. Good luck, Ruben. Today's Woodman's home run inning contestant, service and savings. That's Woodman's. Pat?
Let's see if Ruben can win $900 in cash, Zach. As we move to inning number 6, big crowd here in Philadelphia. Coolish evening. Probably about 63, 64 degrees right now. Not cold, but definitely a hint that autumn has arrived. Miguel Amaya leads off the Cubs' 6th inning. Lines a base hit to left. Amaya had a bases-loaded walk. He had also popped out before ripping a leadoff single here in the 6th inning. Cubs lead 6-2. Back to the top of the order for Ian Happ. Colby Allard, left-hander for the Phils, working from the stretch. Happ with a couple of walks has also flied out. He has scored a run. Cubs got all of their runs in one inning, the second. Tanner Banks and Taijuan Walker gave up all 6 in that one inning. I believe they both were charged with 3 runs each.
I think that's correct.
Justin Steele failed to go 5 innings, so he cannot be the winner. Drew Smiley worked his scoreless 5th inning, so possibly Drew will be in a position to be the winning pitcher at the end of this night.
62 pitches for Steele in the ball game, and I think they were trying to stay pretty cautious with him after the elbow issues he's had.
Happ hits a fly ball to right, pretty well hit, but it's playable for Castellanos, and that's going to be out number 1.
Don't you think that makes sense too with Justin?
Yeah, sure.
You know, he had some elbow inflammation, you know, and worked hard to come back. And once he did, he comes back, mid-50s and pitches in the first start back, and then 62 pitches today. And I would believe this is probably his last start of the season, right?
Possibly on Sunday against Cincinnati, but that's only a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Swanson swings and misses. 1 away, 6th inning. Cubs lead 6-2 with Amaya at first. Dansby has driven in a run. 1 for 3 with a double. Well, let's get back to that memorable night 40 years ago. It just knocks me out that it's 40 years ago tonight. Swanson cracks one in the air, deep left center, back toward the wall. This ball is going to be off the wall and bouncing away. Racing to third and holding is Amaya on a long double by Dansby Swanson. Way out near the 387 sign. It's that angled wall. And you just never know what the ball is going to do when it hits that wall, Ron.
Yeah, this ball's hit a long way, but the wind blowing out, too, towards left center field, but it hits right at that 387 mark. Very deep part of the outfield, and hits about 2/3 of the way up the wall. Amaya stood at second base or just past second, wondering if the ball was going to be caught or not, and I really didn't think they had any chance of catching it, but because he stayed there, the ball was hit the wall right to the left fielder and thrown in, so Amaya does not score.
Seiya Suzuki with an RBI chance. Runners at second and third, 1 away. Cubs on top 6-2. I thought that ball had a chance to leave the yard.
I thought it was going to be a home run, too. I really did.
Towering double by Swanson, his second of the game. Curveball floats outside, 2-0. But it was 40 years ago tonight, and it was a night game. The Cubs were in Pittsburgh. Rick Sutcliffe, who would become the Cy Young Award winner that year, pitched a 2-hit complete game to beat the Pirates 4-2 and give the Cubs a clinch of the National League Eastern Division Championship. First one since 1945, first postseason. That's a 39-year drought.
Yeah.
And I know it was a gigantic story in Chicago, but it was really a big story all over baseball.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely.
Now the 3-1 to Suzuki, taken high. They're loaded with 1 away.
I mean, you know, for so many years, you know, and my whole youth, you know, growing up watching the Cubs, you know, never going to the playoffs, having some great players, but just never going to the playoffs. And, you know, the old, you know, I used to hear it, wait till next year. That was always the, you know, that theme and that saying that people would say about the Cubs. Cub fans would always say.
Phillies bring the infield in with one away and the bags loaded. Cody Bellinger at the plate. Cody is 1 for 3 in the game. He's been up there with men in scoring position every single time. He drove in a second inning run with a base hit to left. Runners lead at all 3 stations. Chopper foul. But Ron, you were a young high school kid at the time when the Cubs beat the Pirates that night. Rick Sutcliffe striking out Joe Orsulak looking. Lee Wire, the umpire, rang him up. And the Cubs began a huge celebration in Pittsburgh. Bellinger swings and fouls it to stay alive. Just did get a piece.
Yeah, but we were all, the whole second half of the season, all the Cub fans were just, and
buzzing.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole city was, but everybody was, really watching every game all the time. It was really fun. The city, baseball was the top of everybody's conversation. Cubs had a very good team. And I remember watching that ball game and the game being over and Sut striking out Orsulak and Jody Davis makes the catch and a little fist pump at home plate.
Bellinger lays off a low curve 2-2.
And I was watching the ball game at my buddy's house, and we were 16 years old and and all of a sudden they flashed to Wrigley Field afterwards and about 3 or 4 minutes while you're still talking about the win and everything and the celebration for the Cubs, and they show Wrigley, and there's thousands of people out in front of the marquee at Wrigley Field.
Even though the Cubs are on the road in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Cubs are on the road in Pittsburgh, and there's thousands in front of the marquee at Wrigley Field. And my buddy Jeff Schultz, who's a big baseball fan, played at Illinois.
Low to Bellinger. It's full now. 3-2, bags loaded. Cubs lead 6-2, 1 away, top of the 6th.
We just looked at each other and we're like, we got to be there. Being here is not good. Being at Wrigley Field is good. And there we went. And we were gone all night at Wrigley Field. Yep. Yeah. And we were celebrating with everybody that was a Cub fan.
So you saw it on TV and said, they need us there.
Absolutely. This is not a good party without us being there.
What a great memory, though, huh?
Oh, yeah.
3-2 to Bellinger. Big chop right side and fair down the right field line. It's going to drive in 2, maybe 3. Suzuki around third getting the green light from Willie Harris. Bellinger racing to third, and it's a 3-run triple for Cody Bellinger. One of the more unusual 3-run triples I have ever seen. Bellinger thought it was a foul ball and didn't run right away. It was a big high bouncer that, according to first base umpire Dan Bellino, was in fair territory when it went over the first base bag. The ball, I think, then, Ron, landed in foul territory, but it's where is the ball when it goes over the bag?
Yeah, it goes right over the bag and then goes down the right field line and does not hit that area of the wall that jets out and goes just past that and then just rolls slowly down into the corner. As this first pitch to Paredes gets hammered right into the Cubs dugout. And hopefully everybody's okay. There's still guys looking around. Somebody must have got hit by that ball.
Amaya, Swanson, and Suzuki all scamper across home plate on that high chopping, just fair ground ball into the right field corner area. Bellinger with 4 RBIs tonight. Paredes breaks his bat, lines one up the middle on one hop that Turner gloves and throws to first in time. Turner thought it was the third out. It was only the second. As Bellinger comes in to score, Cubs now lead 10-2 here in Philadelphia.
I have a question on that last play. If you're playing the infield somewhat in, usually you don't do that. Now, the game's changed since I've been playing a little bit, but the manager usually doesn't play the infield in when there's 2 outs.
Good point.
Just, yep.
That's the voice of experience right there, Ron. Paredes does get the RBI, his 79th overall, and his 24th in a Cub uniform, as Bellinger scores. Cubs lead 10-2. And here is Bush's replacement, Tauchman, taking a strike. Any word on Michael Bush yet from the clubhouse?
I have not heard. I just know that he took a 94-mile-an-hour fastball right in the rib cage. Now, I know we did say this last night, or today going into the ball game. The Phillies clinched last night.
Mm-hmm. You think they might have had a beverage or two to celebrate? Is that possibly what you're alluding to?
I think they had a very nice celebration, as we're talking about celebrations from, the Cubs and the Pirates way back and yesterday. The game is 10-2 right now.
Curveball is inside for a ball. Well, it's very natural, though, when you've played all year and you clinch, especially at home.
I just think there's a natural little letdown, too, where you've been battling all year. A constant grind from the start of the season till now, and you win. And you can kind of go, okay, now the next season's going to start here in another week, October baseball. But this is very normal.
Tauchman hits a fly ball to left. It's caught by Hayes. But the Cubs score 4 and have opened up their lead. It is 10-2 Cubs in the 6th inning, and this is the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs radio network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Jamison Tyone. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy the rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes 100% of odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
It is time to check the out-of-town scoreboard, fueled by Citgo Tri-Clean Gasoline. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Tigers beat the Rays by a final of 2-1. Tarek Skubal wins his 18th game of the year.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Harper swings at Smiley's first pitch, doesn't get it. Skubal's going to get some Cy Young votes for sure, Zach. What do you think?
100%.
You think he'll get all 100% of the votes?
No, I don't think he'll get all 100% of the vote, but I do think that you're 100% right in your statement that he will get some Cy Young votes. There are a whole bunch of games, by the way, in progress as we speak.
Go right ahead.
So the Guardians lead the Reds 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Lane Thomas, a 2-run shot.
Harper lines a base hit into right field. He waited back nicely on a curve and pulled it into right center. It's a single for Harper, his second hit of the game.
Top of the 7th inning, Pat, in Pittsburgh. The Brewers on top of the Pirates 6-2. Willie Adames has joined the 2020 club. He's got a stolen base in tonight's ball game for Milwaukee. Royals and Nationals scoreless, last of the 4th in Washington. The Orioles have taken a 2-1 lead over the Yankees in the bottom of the 5th inning. But guess who's gone deep again? Aaron Judge for New York, his 56th home run.
Zach, we will continue your updates when we come back. Drew Smiley will leave, a new pitcher coming in for the Cubs Pitching changes by the Cubs, sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Cubs lead 10-2, and we'll be right back with more after this on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
There are trucks, then there's the truck, GMC Sierra, with available features like the V8 engine, the ultimate luxury interior, and of course, the available world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra, not just any truck, the truck. GMC's continued commitment to professional-grade engineering is on full display at your local GMC dealer. Come take a test drive today and see for yourself. We are professional-grade. GMC. Well-qualified buyers get 1.9% APR for 36 months on GMC Sierra light-duty models. See your local GMC dealer today. Monthly payment is $28.16 for every $1,000 you finance. Average example down payment 15%. Some customers will not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 9/30/24.
Continuing our check of the out-of-town scoreboard, bottom of the 5th inning in Toronto. The Blue Jays leading the Red Sox 3-0. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a 2-run double for Toronto. The Braves have taken a 4-0 lead over the Mets after 4 innings of play. Michael Harris II has gone deep for Atlanta. The Angels and White Sox getting ready to begin play on the south side. Top of the 4th, Marlins a 4-1 lead over the Twins. Jonah Bride has gone deep again, his 9th home run. Mariners and Astros tied at 1. They're in the middle of the 2nd inning in Houston. Pat?
All right, Zach, thank you. Alec Bohm batting with Harper at first. Nobody out, 6th inning. And he will swing away and foul away Tyson Miller's first pitch. Getting back to the top of the inning, Cody Bellinger had that 3-run triple. Triples by the Cubs. Brought to you by Scott Levy's Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin. In fact, for every 3-bagger, they'll donate to the Northern Illinois Food Bank. Boom backs away. Visit solvehungertoday.com. Thanks to Scott Levy's Rosen Hyundai for sponsoring triples by the Cubs. Bohm waits for Miller. And the pitch fouled away, and the count now 1-2. Lights have taken full effect. Breezy and a little on the cool side, but not cold. Fairly typical late September evening. I would say this would be common in Chicago as well. That's 60 degrees, 62 maybe. Short lead by Harper at first, being held by Bellinger. Tyson Miller fires. The ball hit in the air to right. Playable for Tachman. The left-handed right fielder makes the catch. And that is out number 1. And the batter is Nick Castellanos.
Let's see if Miller can get out of this inning now. Castellanos, the guy that will try to use that right center gap or right field against a guy like Miller unless Tyson spins the ball against him.
Castellanos looks at a ball outside. In addition to the Cubs clinching that dramatic game in back of Rick Sutcliffe back in 1984, other things have happened on this date, September the 24th. Swing and a miss by Castellanos. Al Kaline had his 3,000th hit on this date in 1974. It was a double against Dave McNally at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. And did you know that Kaline was a Baltimore native?
I did not know that.
This pitch is outside, so that made it extra special for him in his hometown against a very good pitcher. Dave McNally was one of the best in the game. Left-hander.
20-game winner.
I think 4 times in a row he did.
Really? Wow.
3,000 hits for Al Kaline. It was a double right down the right field line at the old ballpark, Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Did you ever play there?
I did not, no.
Great park.
They had built Camden Yard right as I was getting into the big leagues.
Park had a lot of atmosphere. Fans were close to the action. It got loud at Old Memorial Stadium. Very loud. Cracked on the ground to short. Scooped up by Swanson. Go to second one. Horner to first. Call it two. A double play. And that ends the inning. Double plays by the Cubs. Sponsored by Nissan. They make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. It's on to inning number 7. Cubs 10, Phillies 2. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer are Chicago's Sound of Summer on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
What is our promise? At Aurora University, we know you want to have a positive impact on the world. Here, you will get an exceptional education that will help you prepare for a purposeful life and a fulfilling career. When you graduate, you're not just getting a degree, you're continuing on a pathway to a more successful tomorrow. It's your future, it's our promise. And it can only happen at Aurora University. Learn more at aurora.edu.
If you're an adult with moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, you have options with Entyvio. For maintenance therapy, you and your doctor can choose between intravenous infusion or the Entyvio pen, a self-administered injection under the skin you can take at home or on the go. Discover your options at Entyvio.com. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. Ask your healthcare provider about Entyvio.
Colby Allard is still doing the Phillies pitching. Nico Horner having a good night, a single and a double and a run scored, a couple of nice defensive plays. Nico will take a strike. Average at 271. This is about the time, Ron, when I would think ball players after a long season, you want to finish strong, no matter where your team is in the standings. I would think here's the 1-1 to Nico. Line toward right center. Shallow and dropping in front. Another base hit. I was thinking, Nico, he's at 271. I bet he's thinking 275 for a goal for the rest of this week.
Absolutely. And staying above 270 for the rest of the week. Absolutely. No doubt. And we're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Pete Crow Armstrong had a single his first time up. He is 1 for 3 facing the left-hander Allard. First pitch swung on and missed. Over 42,000 are here tonight. Impressive. Pop-up foul and out of play. A lot of season ticket holders, I would surmise. Phillies have drawn over 3.2 million for the year, so this is very much in that average attendance for the season for them. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and that's going to be out number 2. Check it, that's out number 1. With a man at first, one away, Miguel Amaya due up. Let's see what else happened. September 24, Jimmy Fox, Hall of Famer, had home run number 500. Last game ever at Old Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. Last big league game was played on this date, 1957, against the Pirates. Dodgers beat the Buccos 2-0 in that last Major League game ever played in Brooklyn.
And the very next year, is that when they went to Los Angeles?
It absolutely was. Yeah, they left. Right. They packed up after the 57 season and opened 58, I believe, at the L.A. Coliseum.
Right. That's what I was going to say, at the Coliseum. Yeah.
Played a couple of years there, maybe 3. Bouncer toward the middle. Turner dives, gloves, backhand flip to second, not in time. The ball gets away, but no advance. That's an infield single for Miguel Amaya. He gets on base for the 3rd time in the game.
Kind of an odd play. This ball hit up the middle. Pitcher lets this ball go, thinking it's got double play written all over it. And if he catches it, it is a double play, but instead it goes through the box. Turner fields it, but has to lay out. Phillies don't get it out in this play. Now the Cubs are 2 men on.
Ian Happ, the leadoff man, stepping in, takes outside. Andre Dawson is in the baseball history notes today. 1985, it says Andre hit 2 homers in the same inning for the 2nd time in his career.
Wow.
Very unusual. At that time, and we can have Zach look this up, only one other man in the big leagues had ever accomplished that feat of hitting 2 homers in the same inning in 2 different games. The other one was Willie McCovey. Swing and a miss by Ian Happ.
Now, do you remember that?
I don't. But thanks for asking.
Just trying to put a little cherry on the top of that story, but
yeah, well, I could have embellished and said, sure I do. Yeah.
2 homers in the same inning.
Now, I'm going to see if Zach could be kind enough. Has any other big leaguer done that twice? 2 homers in the same inning in 2 different games? I don't think anybody's ever done it in 3 different games. And I'm almost positive of that. But it is so rare just to get 2 at-bats in an inning in a big league game.
Well, we know, right? Fernando Tatis, right? Didn't he hit the 2 grand slams in the same inning? 2 grand slams for St. Louis at Dodger Stadium. Yeah. Yes. What an inning. Yeah.
Swing and a miss by Ian Happ on a changeup, and that's going to be the 2nd out in the inning. And Dansby Swanson is coming up.
That was off one of my old teammates in the minor leagues, Chan Ho Park.
You know what's amazing? Both of them came against Chan Ho Park.
Yeah, both of them.
You would think if he gave up a grand slam already and then was around for 9 more batters that he would have been long gone, taken out of the game.
I think Tommy Lasorda wasn't a real big fan of Chan Ho Park.
Apparently not. And after that night, maybe vice versa.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure of that. Yeah, I'm sure it's the other way.
Here's Dansby Swanson checking in. But that means he had to face at least 13 batters in the inning. It just seems like
it's almost impossible.
You could have gotten him much earlier.
Yeah, right.
If you're the manager, you could have taken him out much earlier than that. Swanson having a good night with a pair of doubles. He drove in a run, his 65th run batted in. Cubs enjoying a 10-2 lead. Have 2 men on and 2 down here in the 7th inning. Kind of a quiet Citizens Bank Park tonight compared to last night. Bouncer to third, backhanded by Bohm. The throw to first is going to be in time. Good play at the other end by Harper. And that ends the inning. 5-3 on the putout. Cubs don't score. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is time for the 7th inning stretch here in the city of brotherly love. Cubs 10, Phillies 2 on the score. And the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cub fans, Craig Counsell here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards, but did you know we print everything you need to get your brand in front of your fans? We print banners and signs that help your business stand out. We print postcards and flyers that get people talking. And we print must-have merch like tote bags, t-shirts, and water bottles. Whether you want a few or a few thousand, we print on everything so that customers can go from noticing your brand to falling in love with it. Right now, new customers can get 25% off with code NEW25. Because if you need it, we print it at Vistaprint.com.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
All right, guys, we've got an injury update on Michael Busch, who left the game earlier after being hit by a pitch. The Cubs say he left the game with a right triceps contusion, which is a fancy way of saying a bruise. Meantime, Pat, to answer your question from earlier, 5 players in big league history have multiple 2-homer inning games.
So the other 3 have done it relatively recently, I would think in the last 20 years or so. Who are they, Zach?
Right, so Andre Dawson and Willie McCovey are the 2 that you named earlier.
Right.
Edwin Encarnacion, Alex Rodriguez, and Jeff King are the others.
That's quite a group. Zach, thank you for that quick research. Fly ball to right off the bat of Austin Hayes. Hauled in by Mike Tauchman. Hayden Wesneski doing the pitching for the Cubs now. Pitching changes for the Cubs, sponsored by James Hardy Building Products. James Hardy siding with the Cubs. He's been with us for quite a while now. James Hardy, we thank all of our great sponsors as we start to wind down this final week of the regular season. There's a swing and a drive foul off to the right and back out of play.
And all reviews in this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Wesneski, the long-legged, hard-throwing right-hander, fires. Edmundo Sosa fouls it away, 0-2. At our best moment of the game tonight is going to be that 6-run rally in the Cubs' second inning.
There you go. Yeah.
When things are at their worst, we're at our best. Loyola Medicine. And thanks to Loyola, they've been with us. Very, very loyal sponsor for many, many years. Swing and a miss. Wesneski strikes out Sosa. 2 gone, bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs have had 2 big uprisings. A 6-run second inning and a 4-run 6th inning. 2 gone, and the batter, Garrett Stubbs. Stubbs hits a fly ball. It's going to be caught by Crow Armstrong in center. 1-2-3 inning for Wesneski. It's on to the 8th inning. Cubs 10, Phillies 2 on the score. And the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hall of Famer Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer bring you all the action on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll want to shit on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry,
Pros, save big on top brands during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, save $40 on select 5-gallon Valspar paint, like Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense, or Valspar Stain. Plus, save $20 on 5-gallon pails of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams All-Purpose Power Primer. Shop these limited-time deals and more in-store or online. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 10/27. See store at Lowe's.com for details.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster! I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race for some ice cream. Let's go.
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
Top of the 8th inning here in Philadelphia. It's been all Cubs tonight. 10-2 Cubbies here in the 8th. And this 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids, 877. Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. To donate your car today, Patrick.
And a new pitcher in the game, Tyler Gilbert. Southpaw for the Phillies. He'll face the Cubs here in the 8th inning. Let's see how we did in the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. We told you the attendance is 42,033. Zach Zaidman the closest in the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. And thanks to Binny's Beverage Depot, they have been a wonderful sponsor for decades, not just years. Michael Binstein. Big thanks to Michael. Here comes the 0-1 pitch on the way to Patrick Wisdom. Line to left, down the line, foul ball. The ball girl down there grabbed the little chair she was on and skedaddled out of the way of that line drive. That's a smart young lady right there.
That ball was kind of, it was like that heat-seeking missile. It just kept going after her because it was hooking, and she just outran the ball. That was a pretty good play by her.
Here's the 0-2 to Wisdom. Swing and a miss. Pretty good fastball.
You ever see that ball get hooked at an umpire and he starts going into foul territory? The ball just keeps following him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's trying to bend the back out of the way and just can't bend far enough.
Yep.
As long as you are not the umpire being hit, it's a very comical thing for the other umpire.
Yeah, as long as you, whenever someone like that, you're not the guy getting hit. Yeah.
I was working with a guy many, many years ago, and I remember this guy. He was umpiring second base. He was somewhere in between the mound and second base.
Right.
And there's a steal attempt, and the ball kind of got away from the catcher. And it was one of those where the more the umpire tried to get out of the way, the ball followed him even more intensely. It got him right in the back of the calf.
Oh, yeah.
He went down. I was umpiring the plate. Thank goodness, because I couldn't help but laugh. Here is a swing and a foul back out of play. Now, I would not have been laughing had it been me hitting the deck like he was.
You kept the mask on, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I did call time.
It's nice of you.
Yeah, I went out and said, thanks for the entertainment. Here's the 0-2. No, I didn't say that. I don't think. Here's a swing and a base hit into center field for Cody Bellinger. And we're going to pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs radio network.
All the Cubs talk you can handle on the Spiegel and Holmes Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 670 The Score. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago on Odyssey Sports Station.
Isak Paredes. Isak is 0 for 4. Nobody wants to be 0 for 4 when your team has 10 runs and 13 hits. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Ron Coomer is part of that Invesco QQQ business, and we thank them for being a sponsor on Cubs Radio.
Yeah.
The time and temperature, sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Here's a swing and a foul back. Get ready for the time of your life. CircaLasVegas.com.
Yep. Part of the lineup today, sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book a low fare today at Southwest.com. And
we thank all of these great sponsors on Cubs Radio. We have so many of them, and we are very thankful. This pitch is taken high for a ball. 2-2 on Isaac Paredes.
Stolen bases by the Cubs are sponsored by Turo Tire, another great sponsor. For each stolen base this season, they will make a donation to keeping families covered. That's a Turo Tire, and a big thank you to them, too, this season. They've been a good sponsor all season long for stolen bases.
To make it 1 down, we're in the top of inning number 8. Cubs enjoying a 10-2 lead over the Phillies. The Cubs will clinch at least a .500 record for the season if they can win this game. Looking for win number 81. 4 more to play. 1 here tomorrow night at 5:05 Central. 3 against the Reds. 3 day games starting on Friday. A drive to the right field corner. Long run. Castellanos makes the catch. And the throw back to first. And hustling back is Bellinger. And that's out number 2.
That ball's first hit. I thought it had a chance being an extra base hit. And Castellanos to long strides. He can go get him in the outfield. He makes a nice running catch. Bellinger thought the same thing. And that's why Castellanos threw behind him. Belly was off the bag by quite a bit.
Mike Tauchman stepping in. Tauchman lines a base hit to center. Bellinger will stop at second as the throw comes back in. Cubs with 14 hits in the game, leading 10-2.
And strikeouts by Cubs pitchers tonight. That's sponsored by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealer. Own every mile in a brand new Hyundai.
Hope that Michael Busch is not seriously hurt. He got nailed by a pitch in the arm earlier.
Yeah, we got a little update in between innings on Michael Busch. And they said a right tricep contusion. So I thought the ball hit him in the ribs first, but I think it got him in the tricep first.
Nico Horner, 3 for 4, hits a fly ball to right on the run. Castellanos makes the catch. Castellanos almost lost that ball in the lights. It looked like he ducked down a little bit to see it from a different angle. Cubs don't score, leave a pair. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs look good, leading the Phillies 10-2 on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Pete Crow Armstrong. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
What is our promise? At Aurora University, we know you want to have a positive impact on the world. Here, you will get an exceptional education that will help you prepare for a purposeful life and a fulfilling career. When you graduate, you're not just getting a degree, you're continuing on a pathway to a more successful tomorrow. It's your future, it's our promise. And it can only happen at Aurora University. Learn more at aurora.edu.
Oh, Patrick Wisdom for the 2024 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Capital One, recognizing players who best represent the game through positive contributions both on and off the field. Vote today at MLB.com/Clemente Award. Pat?
Zach, thank you. Hayden Wesneski working on Johan Rojas. The guy in the on-deck circle is the Phillies Roberto Clemente Award nominee for the year, and that is Kyle Schwarber. And for anyone who knew Kyle when he was in Chicago, that's no surprise. He's very much a people person, a good guy. His father, I believe, was a policeman or a fireman.
Yeah, I think fireman. I think he's got a bunch of family members that were firemen. And he's always been very much involved in charity work for the first responders and all the cities he's played in. But as we got to know him here, you knew, he's had a great career so far and still going, obviously. He's one of the premier hitters in our league.
Swinging a foul back.
Leadoff guy. As of right now, 37 and 100. How about that?
And hitting a respectable 250.
That Zach just handed me a note. You're right. I thought fire, but you're correct. His dad was a retired police chief. I thought it was fire chief, but you are correct.
Bounced off the bare hand of Wesneski, goes to Horner, throws to first, not in time. Now is Wesneski okay? Close play. Good try by Nico. He was headed up the middle, saw the ball carom off the pitcher's hand, so Nico had to shift directions immediately and go back toward the hole and just didn't have enough time to make the play, I believe.
Yeah, that hit Wesneski in the throwing arm. I think in the wrist area. Actually, right in the hand. Wow. You see a replay of this. He throws the right hand out there, and it looks like it hits him kind of in that pad area of the thumb. Says he's okay.
That's purely an instinctive move by a pitcher. Because if you had time to think about it, you would never stick your pitching hand in the way of a sharply hit baseball.
No,
you just wouldn't do it.
No.
Carlos Zambrano had that issue for years with the Cubs. He couldn't help himself.
Yeah.
He would just react to the ball with his bare hand. I don't know that he ever had to leave many games as a result. Very tough man, Zambrano. Deep drive to right center by Schwarber, back toward the wall, and gone. Number 38. Schwarber, a 2-run home run. That gives him 102 runs batted in. And the Cub lead is now 10-4 here in the 8th inning.
38 and 102 for Kyle Schwarber now. Wow. He just went up and got this high fastball, just a line drive bullet to right.
Nobody out in the inning, 2 runs in the bank. Trey Turner, nothing for 3 as he takes a strike. Turner has grounded out twice and popped out. He hits one off the end of the bat foul, off to the right out of play. Some of the fans have headed for the exits and are heading to their homes. Huge crowd last night, 42,300. Just under that figure tonight, 42,033. Turner awaiting the 1-2 from Wesneski. Swings and misses. Beautiful curveball by Hayden. And that's the first out in the inning, and the batter now is Bryce Harper. Please stay tuned for the toast of the game, presented by Benny's Beverage Depot and named by Ron Coomer. That's coming up in the 9th inning. Mentioned that Zach was the winner as we took a look at how we did in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. Swing and a miss by Harper. And Zach right now busily preparing the post-game show. It's known as the It's Not a Game Illinois.com Cubs radio post-game show. Zach will update all the other scores around the big leagues. Time permitting, he'll update every half inning of every other game, which I'm looking forward to hearing. Sort of.
Bryce Harper not real happy with that call. And yeah, he did go. Telling you, as a hitter, you just think you're not even close to going, and you see the replay and you're like, yeah, I want.
Harper pulls one foul. How about the catch of the game, Ron? Is there any sparkling defensive play that comes to mind that we would like to acknowledge?
Trying to think. Let's see. There were double plays up the middle. There were two.
I get an idea. How about just the hard work that he's put in all year? The catcher, Miguel Amaya.
Yeah, there you go.
He's starting to hit a little bit. His catching has always been good. Now the 2-2, swinging a foul back. Let's give it to Miguel Amaya tonight.
Yeah, I like it.
You like to see young players improve right before your eyes, and I'd put him in that category. I'd put Pete Crow Armstrong in that category as well, and Michael Bush.
Yep, I would say all three.
Among others.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say Shota Imanaga, but he was great from day one, and he stayed great all season long.
Yeah, and I know he's a rookie in major leagues, just because he hadn't played here, but I don't really consider him a rookie. Do you?
Not really.
He's a guy that he came here as an established big league player in Japan, and it showed. He can really play.
Harper strikes out, and that's out number 2. No, he played at the very top level over in Japan for many years.
Yeah, and I just look at him, and Cubs got a very good established big league pitcher when they signed him, and he has exceeded expectations. I don't know if anybody really thought they were going to get kind of a 1 or 2 type starter, but boy, he has showed to be all of that.
I'm going to ask you something here, Ron. I think we've discussed it maybe briefly, but the Japanese stars have been sensational this year. Shohei Ohtani, Shota Imanaga, we have firsthand knowledge of that. And Seiya Suzuki putting in another solid year. Do you think there will be even more of an effort by Major League Baseball to go over there, do some scouting, and bring some of their players from there over here to play?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
These guys aren't just average big league ball players. When you look at what Ohtani's doing, he's doing something that no one has ever done.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
And the job that Shota Imanaga has done, that's been some of the best pitching we've seen in a long time by a Cub over the course of a year.
No, I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. Work ethic and all those things, I can see where teams are going to spend more time and more resources in scouting the Japanese league. Absolutely.
Now that's question number 1. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Alec Bohm. Swing and a miss. We'll get it when we come back. A 2-run homer by Kyle Schwarber cuts into the deficit somewhat. The Cubs still enjoy a 10-4 lead as we go to the 9th inning. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Ian Happ here. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy,
but it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Smartwool makes merino wool socks and apparel designed to keep you comfortable, so you can do all the things you love outside all day long. Smartwool. Go far, feel good.
Your engine is dirtier than you think. As soon as it started for the first time, it begins building up engine-killing deposits that dramatically impact longevity, fuel economy, and performance. And at Valvoline, preventing these damaging deposits isn't enough. We've revolutionized a way to completely reverse them. Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect, the first and only motor oil that restores pistons to factory clean by removing up to 100% of deposits. That's right, 100%. This first-of-its-kind innovation restores engines to run like new. And the more you use it, the more it continually cleans inside your engine. Plus, Valvoline Restore and Protect is a premium full synthetic that provides 79% better wear protection than industry standards. It not only eliminates deposits, it prevents future deposits from forming. Restore your pistons to factory clean. With all new Restore and Protect, another first from Valvoline.
We have reached the ninth inning. Pete Crow Armstrong first up against Gilbert, a left-hander. And the pitch by Gilbert is fouled away off to the left and out of play. I am guessing Gilbert probably has a first name. Voila. No, that's not his name, but his name is Tyler Gilbert. Swinging a base hit to left by Crow Armstrong.
He says, he a magician on the side, and voila, Gilbert.
It's a leadoff single. Crow Armstrong's second knock of the night. Cubs leading 10-4. Here's the other question regarding Japanese baseball as it relates to the big leagues. In the 1960s, I want to say 1964, the very first Japanese player came here to the States. His name was Masanori Murakami, and I know it because he pitched for the San Francisco Giants. He was a reliever. He was not great, but he was the very first. And my question would be, what took American big league baseball executives so long to go over there and try to tap into some of the amazing talent that Japanese had? They had a guy by the name of Sadaharu Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know how many home runs he hit, but it was around 800.
Yeah, he was the home run leader.
Now I'm thinking, Ron, he certainly could have played big league baseball in the States.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt. I studied his swing as a player when I was young, and he took hitting to another level of mechanics of how you swing and what you do. And there's still practices that go on today with hitters and balance that are used that he used to do and he kind of came up with back then.
Tell me some more of that stuff that you noticed that he did that you liked and you almost started to implement.
He was a guy, how about this? He would put a piece of paper on a string.
Fly ball to right, pretty well hit. Back goes Castellanos to the track, makes the catch. Amaya is going to be out number one. Cubs lead 10-4 in the ninth inning, Ron.
And he would put a piece of paper on a string, and it would be at the bottom of the string. They'd hold it up, and they would spin the string, so the string would spin tight. And then the paper would start, the string would unravel, and the paper would keep going around and round. And he would stand on his back leg with his front leg in his stance, with his front leg up off the ground, holding his balance point until the paper totally unraveled, and just as it stopped to start going the other way, boom, he would swing down at the paper like a samurai sword and chop the paper in half to hold balance. But he was, if you're a young hitter and you look at his swing, and he thought of it almost like a sword, like he was swinging a sword. Just incredible. And he's a great guy to study for hitting if you're a young hitter.
That's a good story, Ron. Here's a swing and a foul back by Ian Happ. He did have that stand on one leg, lift the front leg,
Yeah, the leg kick.
wait, and then react to when the pitch came in.
When you hit like that, if you can perfect that, it's an extremely strong way of hitting. You generate a lot of power hitting that way with a weight transfer.
And Zach was kind enough to look up, here are the career marks for Sadaharu Oh. He was known as the Babe Ruth of Japan and then the Henry Aaron of Japan at various times, which are both great compliments, of course. Here's a pitch low and inside to Happ. His career average with all the power, 301.
Yeah, there you go.
868 home runs.
Wow.
2,786 hits. So he was obviously a slugger with all those dingers, but the 301 average, that's a complete hitter. Happ takes inside, gets hit by the pitch, and it hit him somewhere in the right arm, I believe, or left arm. And Happ will take his base. Ian gets on for the third time in the game. Crow Armstrong goes to second. Cubs enjoying a 10-4 lead. But it just strikes me as odd that executives here, Ron, general managers in big league ball, did not go over and try to tap into, if not Sadaharu Oh personally, some of the other guys who were close to being as good as he
and I'm
was.
not sure what the rules of baseball were at that time.
Dansby hits a fly ball to right. Castellanos will catch this one for out number 2. Swanson retired, and the batter is Seiya Suzuki.
But I had teammates from Japan, Nomo was my teammate in Los Angeles.
Hideo.
Yeah, he was an outstanding pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Great teammate, too. Really good teammate. Smart guy, really knew how to pitch.
Hideo Nomo pitched a no-hitter at Coors Field.
Right. Think of that.
And that was before the humidor came into play. That was back, I want to say 1996 or 97.
That should be worth 2 or 3 wins.
Oh, it's unbelievable. The average score at that time was 8-6.
Right? I mean, think of that.
He pitched a no-no there.
For everybody that's involved in baseball, playing, broadcasting, and you go to Colorado back then, and a guy, threw a no-hitter there, the whole league was like, huh? What? Really? You just couldn't believe it.
Here's the 1-1 now to Patrick Wisdom. Swing and a miss. I could be wrong, but I think that remains the only.
I think that's right.
No-hitter in the history of Coors Field. And it's been around since about 1995.
94, 95, 95, I think you're right,
Now Wisdom waits. Patrick swings and misses. Strike 3. Cubs don't score. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Cubs 10, Phillies 4. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Spiegel and Holmes on your ride home. Afternoons 2 to 6 on The Score.
Pros, ahorren en grande en marcas reconocidas en los Pro Savings Days de Lowe's. Ahorra $40 en pinturas selectas Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense y tintes selectos Valspar de 5 galones. Además, ahorra $20 en cubetas de 5 galones All-Purpose Primer de HGTV Home de Sherwin-Williams. Aprovecha estas ofertas en tiendas o en línea por tiempo limitado, porque Lowe's sabe de ahorros. Lowe's sabe de pros. Oferta válida hasta el 9/27. Detalles en tiendas o en Lowe's.com.
Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring Gain scent beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent maracas smell amazing." You could call them scent maracas, but most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads, way fresher than detergent alone.
Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. Discover the artist, the foodie, the adventurer, and the kid in you, too. Discover all of you, all in one place. World-class music and art, local food, brews, and spirits, endless bike trails, and other thrilling outdoor adventures. Discover you in Hamilton County, Indiana. It's closer than you think. Plan your getaway at visithamiltoncounty.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Enoli Paredes pitched with Milwaukee earlier this year. Had a pretty good ERA and a small sample size, 1.74 ERA over 20 innings. And he'll make his Cubs debut right now. Enoli Paredes. First pitch to Cody Clemens, one of Roger Clemens' sons. Cody took a strike. Here comes the 0-1 from Paredes. Bouncing ball to first, fair. Fielded by Bellinger. Took kind of a tricky final hop, but he negotiated it and made the play unassisted. One down.
Cody's been with the big league club all year as a platoon guy. Played with his father in New York, the New York Yankees. What a pitcher he was and what a teammate. Just an incredible pitcher and an incredible teammate.
Austin Hayes now batting, pulling one foul toward third. Hayes is 1 for 3 in the game. Cubs out hitting the Phillies 15-7 and lead 10-4. And the pitch pulled foul deep to left. Ron, who do you like for the toast of the game ball player presented by Benny's Beverage Depot?
Well, we got some candidates. Bellinger with 4 RBIs and 3 hits in the game. So how about if we go with Cody? He's got 3 hits, 4 RBIs in this ball game today.
Hayes takes strike 3 called, and suddenly there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Please stay tuned. Zach's post-game show coming up in just a couple of moments. The It's Not a Game, Illinois.com Cubs radio post-game show.
And we get the hardest working player of the game, sponsored by Bosch Power Tools, what hard workers deserve. And how about this one? This is a little off the path of what we usually do, but how about for Justin Steele, making comeback and wanting to keep pitching as opposed to shutting it down and not pitching and deciding I rehabbed, I feel okay. Why wouldn't I finish out the season? And he put in a lot of work to get his arm back in shape to pitch. And he is one of the leaders on the mound of this ball club. And so Justin Steele will be our hardest working player of the game by Bosch Power Tools for his commitment to coming back to his teammates, if nothing else, in the ball club of I'm finishing out the season on the active roster and I'm going to pitch. And I think that's, it's just a good thing. And I know his teammates and everybody appreciates that hard work that was put in.
1-2 to Sosa, swung on and missed, and this ball game is over as the Cubs win here in Philadelphia. The final tonight, Cubs 10, Phillies 4.